Now, another leader who came to power promising to end corruption is Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, the government there says it has recovered more than $170 million in looted funds, a sum that's been described as being just the tip of an iceberg. The government says the money has been recovered from 3 sources through a whistleblower scheme launched last year. The scheme entitles those who help find stolen assets to up to 5% of the recovered sums. Now, on Friday, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission recovered more than $9 million worth of cash from a house owned by the former head of the state oil company NNPC. And the former oil minister was arrested in London on the same day. That was after authorities in Nigeria found that Diezani Alison Madueke owned a $37 million property on Banana Island, one of Africa's most expensive locations. Now, Ifeanyi Ukoha is an economic consultant and a former banker with the Central Bank of Nigeria. He joins me now from Abuja. Mr. Ukoha, thank you very much. Ukoha, thank you very much for joining us. Let me start by talking a little bit about where Nigeria sits on Transparency International's ranking of on its Corruption Perceptions Index. It's about 136 out of 168 countries. That basically means it's one of the worst in the world. You live and work in Nigeria. Tell us a little bit about what are your perceptions of corruption on a daily basis from what you see?
Well, you see, corruption is a way of life in Nigeria, starting from the policeman you meet on the streets who tries to ask you for some bribe to the government official. Not much has changed since the president has come, but I think in applying the 80-20 rule, he seems to be targeting the 20% of people that have stolen 80% of the money. To an extent, there's a lot of success. There have been a lot of recoveries, as you've seen, but there's still ongoing corruption, so it's a very difficult thing to crack.
This whistleblower protection scheme, though, do you think it is a genuine attack on corruption, endemic corruption in Nigeria, or is it a bit of political whitewashing?
Well, it looks as if the whistleblower scheme seems to be yielding results, considering the amount of money that is coming through right now. It was like a last-ditch effort because governments didn't seem to be making much progress. And with this one, we've seen a whole lot of recent successes. So it's early to tell, but I think it's a positive thing so far in the fight against corruption.
Mm-hmm. Now, Nigeria says it's planning to generate about $16.4 billion over the next 4 years or so. One of the main aims of this is to reduce corruption. Is this going to work?
I don't think there is enough policy that supports that assertion. Last year, the Federal Revenue Service fell short of its targeted revenue. And even the ports, the shipping companies are closing, the high tariffs, and people are not coming through Nigeria any longer. So I've not seen the things government is really doing, apart from recovery from corruption, that will tell me that, okay, we're going to generate that kind of money.
So, in your opinion, what else does the government need to do?
Well, okay, so the government needs to get serious about the infrastructure. There's been a lot of talk around it. The most important thing government needs to do now is to bridge the gap between the parallel market and the official exchange rates. Mm-hmm. The difference about 100 naira. And this is something that affects investors. You don't want to bring in your money when it to be undervalued. Things like that. It's affecting, even there's a scarcity of forex for productive sector, manufacturing, and so on. Uh-huh. The economy will diversify, but it will take some time. So there needs to be some bridging of that gap. And we have like 11 exchange rates, an exchange rate for the oil importers, exchange rate for government officials, and so on. Yeah.
Mr. Ifeanyi Ukoha in Abuja, thank you very much for joining us on Money Talks.